So today we have Mark Bell, an awesome artist who you may have seen recently from his wonderful Barbasol can prints and those really cool like Jurassic Park authentic movie art print collections from Vice Press. He's a big Jurassic fan, as I know, and a fellow collector, as you can see behind in the video. So Mark, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me on. I'm a Jurassic Park fan. I was 8 when I saw it in the cinema. My dad took me. I'm pretty much there. I've been hooked ever since. That Christmas, I got all the toys, which still have a few of them. I'm doing good though.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll get into all that in just a second. But I have the most important question to ask you right off the bat. It's if you were stuck in a kitchen with the Velociraptor, what would you do, and would you make it out alive?
Oh no! I mean, no, I'm quite a big guy. I'm like 6'3", and I'm not skinny either. So
Okay.
I'd be stumbling my way out of that kitchen, and I would probably end up food pretty fast, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to like slip into the end counter or anything like that.
No, I would absolutely be dead in this situation. I don't think there's any way I could get out of it. So I'm not fitting in any cabinets or anything like that. I mean, yeah. So I
And
know
also,
they got pretty
I'm clumsy
lucky.
as well. I'm clumsy as hell, so I'd just be knocking things over. Like what the raptor does with his tail, like that'd be me. I'd just be doing that before they even got in the room. Yeah, it'd be pretty horrendous.
Yeah. I always try to think of these situations and like, would I do okay in them? Like, I don't know. Like I when I was a kid, I was like, okay, I'm Tim. Like, I'm definitely Tim in this scenario. Like, why couldn't that have been me? Like in this movie, why didn't they cast me in this movie? But I don't know. I don't know if I would have had the same smarts that they had to get out of some of these situations. You know, it was pretty good on their behalf.
Or bravery. I'd just be sitting in like a corner crying, probably.
And I certainly
Really
didn't know
into
any Unix systems or anything like that, so I could not have. I don't know. Maybe at that point, maybe. But no, that was before. I feel like that was before like the height of like AOL computers and doing all that kind of stuff. Here at home. So it would have been a bit different. I don't think I would have gotten out of many of these scenarios at all. So, like you said, you got started at a pretty early age. So go ahead, fill us in more on your backstory there. Like, what's your journey been? Um, you know, uh, just learning about Jurassic. Did you read the books? I heard you collect some toys. Like, what's your origin story with the franchise?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I think I saw it June. I just turned 8 when it came out of the cinema. I saw it with my dad, and I was just absolutely hooked. And yeah, got all the toys for that Christmas. I got the T-Rex. I remember just like I had this weird thing when I was a kid where when I was super nervous, I used to like be sick.
Uh-huh.
So I just remember like, and it would, however more excited I was, that would like ramp it up even more. So I was sitting there sort of opening, I was getting Grant and I was getting the things, and then there was the big sort of T-Rex which I started to open, and I was just like, off I run. I just remember there's Christmas videos that my dad has where I sort of run off and then come back and like I'm fine after that. But just that was like magical to me at that age. And I think it was about probably a solid 2 years of solid loving dinosaurs and Jurassic Park, and I got into it. Obviously, the more older I got, the more I got into sort of drawing dinosaurs and that kind of thing. But I still have some original drawings from when I was like 8, like of the T-Rex and the car and all that kind of stuff. And I'd probably say it's high up there on what sort of started me on my sort of art journey, I would say. Definitely
Yeah.
just like the dinosaurs and stuff, yeah.
That's awesome. So you got into the toys. The T-Rex to me is the best one. I mean, we both got it right behind us. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a
I
so
have
is
a
that
boxed one over here as well, so
Oh, okay. Is that the
yeah.
original one that you had as a kid, or have you picked up
This
new ones since?
Yeah, this is the original. This is the one from when I was a kid. But I have that. But I bought a boxed one as well, just because I like it all to be nice and neat.
I mean that boxed one's not an easy grab. I mean that's usually a pretty expensive haul, and so I feel you
Yeah,
there.
I don't like to talk about how much a lot of this stuff has cost me, to be honest with you.
No, I know. Everybody stay out of my office. You don't need to see what's in here. It's fine. You don't need to see it. It's embarrassing. But yeah, my Rex, that was my prized possession as a kid. I thank you to Ted Brothers out there. He actually sent me arms for the Rex, and because like I lost the arms, pretty, I don't know when, but fairly early on in the first few years of having that Rex. So I see your arms are still intact. It looks like it's in good condition.
It still stumps, I think. Actually, I'm pretty sure it still
Oh my
stumps.
gosh.
It doesn't roar anymore, but it still stumps. Yeah. So
Man, yeah, that's awesome. And you got is that a screaming Velociraptor right there that I see?
yeah, do
Right.
you know what? I only just picked that up. That's why I have. I've got all the figures. We were talking original '93 Kenner, the Series 1. I've got all the
Mhm.
figures. I've got about 3 of the dinosaurs and then 1 screaming one. I've still got some that I'm slowly picking them up. I don't want to be spending too much on them, but I want to be picking up really high quality sort of mint condition ones in boxes. So they've all got like
Yeah.
nice protector
I
sleeves
love
and
that
all that stuff.
there's like so many different levels of collecting, right? Like I love your level. Like that, I wish I could have that kind of like attention to detail. Like I have a few things in boxes like that I'm like, "Oh, this would be cool to keep in a box." I you can't even see it on my video, but down here I've got some old like Ghostbusters toys and things. But yeah, Jurassic, I've never really like gotten into collecting like boxed items, and I do have like there's like the San Diego Comic-Con Lost World T-Rex over there that I kept in the box. But
Yeah.
like that's about it. But I love that style. Like that, honestly, the art style, like how it looks in the box, like it's kind of unmatched to me. Like that orange or red and kind of fading into the black with the trees and specifically like the Jurassic logo, the cards, like everything about it is just an iconic look. It's
It's
unmatched, I feel like.
100%. Like it brings me so much nostalgia and like such joy just to have these on my shelf, to be honest with you. And like, you know what? I don't think I could have put my original childhood ones because like I was quite and like had big imagination as a kid, so I like drew like ink all over the faces of the figures and stuff from like the
Yeah.
spitters and as we do. So yeah, I can't show the original ones because they're all just destroyed and battered. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's
I
something
I
nice
have
about the
I
gene
think
stuff.
I think it might be back there, but I have a Muldoon that we like literally just put onto the treadmill as it was moving. And like his face is kind of like just missing. Like so like
Melted off.
that's the good thing though. We played with them. We made sure that they were well loved. And I watch like Toy Story now and I'm like, that's how I feel about my Jurassic toys and stuff. Even though Toy
Yeah,
Story was at that good age as well for us, but like the Jurassic toys, like I was actually thinking about it because we started rewatching Toy Story because the new movies coming up, so we're watching them like 1 week at a time leading up to the new film, and I was like, I wonder why like those toys I didn't have any of them. I had like maybe like some McDonald's or Burger King or something like that, but like
Mm.
I didn't have like all like the you would think as a kid that age like I would have all of those toys. And I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure it was just that Jurassic was too like steady in my rotation, and I didn't really get out of that at all. I think I just stayed with Jurassic the whole time.
I think you're right. I can't really remember any other toys from around that time. I was massively into Sonic as well. That was the other thing, and I love Toy Story. I think I was, what was that, 95, wasn't it? So I was maybe 10,
Hmm.
maybe just about to go to secondary school. So I probably secondary school is like the sort of older school over here. So yeah, I probably didn't want to get toys because it would be uncool to be sort of having toys at that age. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I don't know because I was thinking that as well, but I was pretty intent on getting like the Lost World toys in '97. So like
Yeah.
yeah, there was that weird gap where like in the middle there, I just didn't have any Toy Story stuff, and I liked the movie, so it was a weird like thought for me. But like you mentioned the other day, like your family has the old tapes and stuff at home. Like that's what I've been doing. I've been going through old videotapes. I got my camera here. I've been digitalizing like all of them, and it's been fun to kind of see like unboxing all those old toys and stuff at birthdays or Christmas. That Screaming Raptor, like you have behind you. my best friend, who's still my best friend today, like he got me that, and I was like recording like a little video for him. I'm like, dude, I just watched this video of me opening this present you got me in
Oh,
1993 or
mate,
4 or
that's
whatever that was,
so
and I'm
sweet.
like, look, it's right here, it's behind me, like so. Man, I feel like we are obsessive in that way. Like I guess toy collectors are in general, right? Like we kind of like love to hold on to these things.
Yeah,
But yeah, I love that Jurassic has been this staple for us. You know, the way Star Wars has for a lot of people, and other franchises. So that's our thing. I
yeah,
love it.
that's cool. I mean, outside of that, I have a few little bits. I collect a lot of the movie posters as well, obviously, because that's the sort of the genre that I'm heavy into is the movie posters and stuff. That's what I do a lot of. And I also very recently, for my birthday, my parents got me a production storyboard from the movie props thing. So I've got an actual storyboard piece with Steven Spielberg stamped on it and all that stuff. It's one of the ones they would have used on the walls. I think it was Phil Tippett's probably.
Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah, I've never gotten into that. Have you gotten into? Is that the only piece that you have like that's like authentic, like from the movie? Because I know a lot of collectors get into like real, like physical props and things like that. I've never done that
Yeah.
though, unfortunately.
I only just started understanding this whole world. I went on a bit of a deep dive trying to find some of this stuff. And yeah, that some of the things people have is crazy. I was talking to a friend of mine, Gareth, who's a massive Jurassic Park fan, and he said that one of his mates has like the Arnold arm, the actual one they
Oh
use,
my
which is not. I don't
god.
even know how much you spent on that, but there's a limit, I think. But this is cool. So
Jeez, wow, that's wild. So do you remember like see because I know it's like hard. We're getting up there, right? Like it's kind of hard to remember. Do you remember that first experience? I know you said you went to go see it when you were 8, right? So like, do you remember stepping into that theater, coming out of it? Because I don't, unfortunately.
I don't really remember I don't remember sort of the whole experience. I just remember snippet like parts of the film that stuck with me, like the kitchen scene. I really, really remember the when the T Rex first breaks out. And you know what? I remember when watching it on VHS, probably a year and a half later, because
Hmm.
that's how long it took to sort of appear on VHS back in the day. And there was so much more that I didn't remember at all. And there was a lot of it I didn't even understand probably at that age. Sort of the behind the scenes, the story, and sort of why Nedry did what he did, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't remember a lot of sort. I just remember snippets.
Yeah, you said the VHS like that. That's to me like where like the fandom really grew, right? Was we had this thing on VHS, we could watch them all the time. I remember like just the feeling of watching The Lost World on VHS because it was just with the crackles of the VHS tape and just how ominous the opening of that movie was. It felt so unique and special. Like that's the one
Yeah,
that really stands out to me.
definitely. I think all our TVs were like 15 inches back then, so it looked amazing anyway. It was
Yeah,
sort
yeah.
of 420,
I just I want
whatever
to
it would
get one
be.
of those again and just like set it up in the corner, just have it on loop over there, just on a VHS, just run that thing dry. I think that'd be the best way to do it.
No, very cool.
Um, so have you, since we're on the toy topic a bit, do you collect any of the newer items, or have you mostly been just sticking with the past items?
Do you know what? I've primarily been sticking with the Series 1 Kenner stuff. That's literally
Hmm.
toy wise, that's what I've been collecting. I have a few other little bits that are just sort of bits that I've got. My kid's 4, so she's into dinosaurs as well, obviously, because I just push her into it.
Yep, can't help
But
it.
yeah, so but I've got some other bits that she just plays with. That's sort of like some of the smaller cars, like the Matchbox ones, and stuff like that. They're just sort of from random. I think I've got a Lost World one, like a little Matchbox one, and some of the little bits and bobs, but nothing that I sort of collect really. And
Hmm.
I wouldn't call myself a toy collector really either. I don't really have much other stuff. In terms of like Star Wars or Ghostbusters or any of the other classic sort of stuff. It's just I wanted to fill a shelf with this like original kind of stuff because, like you sort of said, the packaging makes me really happy and like sort of
Yeah.
inspired me. Yeah,
Yeah, I know that box art is just it's the best. And I honestly like not even just the visual style of like the trees in the background, like the actual like artwork that they had. I'm sure that had to like really spark something in you to kind of like I want to create I want to see toys go in this direction and dinosaurs attacking from this way, because between those and the commercials that they had, that was the best. That was just
Yeah.
the best feeling, that 90s feeling. Those commercials, the box art, oh, it's the best.
I was a really, really big fan of the sort of the collector cards that you got. I did when I did the set of the Barbasol can for Vice
Mhm.
Press, a gallery in the UK. I also at the same time released a set of 6, which were a bit of an homage to the to all the little Kenner paintings.
Yeah.
The guy whose name evades me right now, unfortunately, I have looked into him as well. He's a really cool artist. Um, yeah, I love all the painting stuff and the story behind them, because obviously they look nothing like the actors, and also they have nothing to do with the film in any way, which I really love. They're just sort of silly scenes that the guys made up, and I just thought
Yeah.
brilliant. It sparked my imagination at that age.
Yeah, we actually did have I don't know, he did a lot of the box arts and things like that. It was Larry Selman. We had him on the show once, and that was an awesome conversation, because just to get the insight into what went into making that, and what it was like at that time to do that. Oh, that was cool. So shout out to Larry. He did some awesome work on a lot of that stuff. I don't know, not everything, I don't think, but a lot of it, and
Yeah.
it kind of gave it that identity that we all remember and love. So yeah, that was the best. But yeah, and the I love that they took especially on the box art, they took this iconography from the film that was just so iconic, and then even made it cooler. They found a way to just make it feel all so much cooler. Give us characters that never existed, and certainly made them look cooler, like you were saying. They didn't necessarily look like the actors, but
Yeah,
they looked like the action versions of them.
that's it. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, outside the toy stuff, I collect a few. I've got some of the Michael Golden covers. He did a lithograph set of black and white
Hmm.
covers, which I've got the set of those. I've got the Crash lithographs,
Ooh.
like a whole set of those. I think they came. I think we've all seen them on cereal boxes when we were younger and stuff. The actual artwork is sort of 18 by 24, I think, or something like that. So I've got a whole
Mhm.
set of those, which are all nice. Yeah, and other than that, I have the. Do you guys know the Folio Society?
Mhm.
A book sort of book
Yeah.
publisher, and they're based over here, or maybe they're not. But my good friend Joe, who is Vexed That Fox,
Yep.
they had designed all the sort of illustration for it as well. And I was very lucky. Joe is a lecturer at one of the universities, and I went to do a bit of a talk there, and they gave me two the 2 books, and all illustrated inside. They'd actually done doodles and stuff for me. So that's a really big sort of piece of my collection, Jurassic Park.
Heck yeah, yeah. Joe's awesome. Joe's been on the show at least once or twice, I think. And yeah,
Ah,
that artwork was very cool as well. And I think I have them in the other room there. So those are awesome. I want to see more stuff like that. That is so cool. But yeah, so that's kind of your origin there. I want to talk more about the films too. So because I mean, you love what? How do you love the first 2, 3? What are we talking about? What's JP3 to you? How do you feel about that one?
sure. I think, if I'm being honest with you, The Lost World was pretty good when I was a kid, because I was that age. I was 13 or something, or 12 when it
Yeah.
came out, something like that. So I was still in that age where I thought it was brilliant. Jurassic Park 3, I really remember doing. Me and my buddy came home from watching that, and we were into doing sort of silly video. We had a recorder, and we were doing sort of
Yeah.
silly. We'd get the toys, and we'd sort of make our own stupid movies, but we were sort of parodying them a little bit. And I
Mhm.
distinctly remember us both being like, "Oh, Dr. Grant, I'm never going back to the island. Oh, here's a bunch of money. I'm going back." And I think we realized it was a bit silly, but I mean, watching them again, I think they're good films. I just think they sort of missed what the original was, like that wonder and that sort of, and that sort of almost horror sort of feel of the first one, which in a weird way, that they just wanted to cram action. That's what it felt like, and you missed all that sort of the niceness and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, like, as
And they're
much as I
still
love
good
the yeah, as much as I love them and I love the Spinosaurus, like it's trying to be Michael Myers in a way, but like not capturing that horror that like some of the first two films had even. So
yeah.
yeah, that one to me, like that's unfortunately the first movie I remember watching for the first time, Jurassic wise in theaters. And I was just like, oh, and that feeling never left me, like how bummed I felt after watching that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Yeah.
one that's stuck with me, but I've gotten over it to a certain extent, and I'm like, I see what you mean. You know, it's like they're just good, they're fun. You know, they're fun watches. So
I think if you take Jurassic Park out of the equation, that they're probably pretty good films. If Jurassic Park never existed, you could be like, well, these are decent dinosaur films, and I think that's the way. Even up to like now, when I go see a Jurassic Park film, I'm just like, you know what? It's more dinosaurs. It's more sort of backstory. It's more sort of opening up the world a little bit, and I just take it like that. I just sit and watch it and enjoy it, and not be like this is nowhere near Jurassic Park, you know, because that would be a weird
see,
thing to do.
that's the problem. Like that is what people do. That's the like unfortunately Jurassic Park is too good, right? Like it's too good of a movie because now everybody will never stop comparing it to everything else to it. And you know, you mentioned like the awe and the wonder. Like I'm like we can't ever go back to that. Like that's never gonna happen again. We're never gonna feel that. That was a completely different time with CG. You know, that was like just something we'd never seen like in that style before. So it's just impossible to go back to that. So when Jurassic World era comes around, you get those three films. Were you like you just said you're enjoying like were they movies you fully enjoyed like to the the extent that you did maybe some of the other ones?
Yeah, I think so. Not obviously not the first, but the first three. I sort of, especially Lost World. I remember coming home from that and being like, yeah, it was really good. It was really good. I really liked the raptors and stuff, and but I knew in my heart it wasn't sort of the same. It wasn't quite there, and I sort of didn't then have that same. Oh, I need to go get all the stuff. I need to sort of like I sort of was out of it at that point, I think. And maybe that's my age. Maybe it was perfect for Jurassic Park, and I was a young boy who just loved Jurassic, like dinosaurs and stuff. And then by the time I was sort of 12 or 13, I was just I want to go play PlayStation or whatever was going on in '97. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, and I mean like I've been one to really enjoy I think Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, Dominion. By the time we get to Dominion, like, did you feel satisfied at the end of all that, or were you like wishing there was something else or different direction? Because I know it's divisive. You know, the whole series can be divisive in the directions that they went. Was that something you were satisfied with at the end of that trilogy, or?
I don't. I sort of came out and went, well, that was fun. I don't think that's the thing. I don't think I took it very seriously. I was very much like. I liked having sort of the cast and stuff back a little bit, and I don't know, like to me it just sort of felt like, well, there's sort of pointless doing any of this really. But at the same time, like I said, like that sounds so bad, but at the same time, like that it's more world expanding and it's sort of given more depth to the characters and stuff, and like there was some ridiculous stuff in it, like where Chris Pratt like punched a rubber puppet like a muppet. It was like the Dilophosaurus that comes in, he sort of goes, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
I was on the floor laughing. I really was, because it was meant to be like really heroic, but it just looked like he like punched a muppet. That's what it looked like.
Yeah,
it was insane.
yeah. I think they could have probably leaned more into that, like that silliness of that moment, because you're right. It was taken a very like serious kind of tone, heroic kind of moment. But I think if they had leaned into like how silly that is, it would have been more accepted, I think, and nobody'd be talking about it. It'd just be like that was hilarious, And at some points in the World trilogy, they like there's that scene in Fallen Kingdom where he is like rolling away from the lava, like that. It's not trying to be comical, really. I don't think like it feels like it's trying to be serious, but it just ends up being funny in like a bad way, and you're like. If you had leaned into that a little bit more and been funny about it, I think it would have been better, like a more accepted film, and same thing with Dominion. There's just some of those moments where you just kind of like, all right, we're having fun with it, but like we're taking the moments seriously that we need to, but yeah, we'll have fun along the way.
Yeah. I also think like Mystery Science Theater and stuff like that has warped my brain. I think it's anything that's got a slight sense of humor to it. I'm like, I will sit and riff in my head and just like I
Yeah.
can't help that.
Have you gone to see The Mandalorian and Grogu yet?
I have not. No. Weirdly, I'm not like I like Star Wars, but I'm not like a huge Star Wars fan. Like,
Hmm.
I haven't even seen the Series 3 of Mandalorian yet. So,
Oh, okay.
and yeah, so and I've also got a 4-year-old who doesn't sleep great. So, I sort
Yeah,
of my
feel
time
ya.
to watch is really like we pick things that we really want to see, but yeah, few and far between to when I actually get full on sort of times to go and do what I want to do. But
For
it's on my
sure.
list. But there's other stuff I want to see first, I think. So
So the reason I bring it up is because like there's a lot of parts in that movie that like they lean hard into like we know how silly this is, and you're gonna laugh, and I find that movie hilarious because like if they had taken it too seriously it wouldn't have been funny, but like they're having fun with it, and like some of these little aliens and stuff are so funny that like when they speak you're just like, oh, this is the best. So I kind of wish like Jurassic leaned into that a little bit at times, but some comedy that didn't work for me was in Jurassic World Rebirth. How did you feel coming out of that movie? Last year, was
do
it
you know what?
last year?
Actually, I was yeah. Well, I think it was last year. Yeah, I was actually more positive about that than some of the earlier ones. Only because I think they tried to do something a bit different, which I think they failed a lot as well. But again, I was quite. I've not come on here to rip on the franchise, man. But no,
Well, that's
I
what
think
we
they
end
did a
up
lot.
doing because like it's hard. You talk about the things you love, but then sometimes you just go down these roads of like, I didn't like this thing, and you're now at the end of it, you're like, I really do like these things. I swear.
Yeah. Do you know what? There was some really cool. I really loved the T-Rex in the river chase because I feel like that's obviously missing from Jurassic Park anyway. I feel like that should have
Mm,
been in there as per the book. So I feel they did that really well. There were some bits that were really good, really exciting. And I sort of weirdly liked those weird mutated velociraptors in a weird way. I sort of liked them. I thought they would look
yeah.
really cool. That weird Distortus, big bulky head fella. He was weird. I don't know about him. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
every single
It's
franchise or every single film they've sort of gone, right, well, we've done a DNA cloning of this and made it even scarier, and then we've made it even scarier, and now we've done this, and we're like, what can we do? And you're just like, oh, just give him a massive head or something, give him extra arms.
well,
Do
it
you know?
sounds like based off of like how much time they had and everything, it was like maybe it was like that. It's just like just give him a big head. I don't know. Like there's not like because we don't have enough time
Yeah,
for this. We got to turn this movie around really quick.
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like from what I've seen of the upcoming game, I feel like that's something they should explore more. You know, like someone lost, left behind in the '93 sort of film, and like how they deal with all that. I don't know. I feel like that's something they should they weave their way through. Which obviously they're going to do that with the game, hopefully. But I feel like there's still some unexplored stuff there as well. Maybe even prequel
Yeah.
stuff would be really cool. You know, like the building of it and stuff, and like I don't know, I don't know.
There,
that
look, that's where
I
we
just
need like
draw, man.
awesome art. Yeah, that's where we need the awesome art to come in and be like, oh, this is what it would have looked like in the prequel
Yeah,
era, or in between JP3 and Jurassic World. Like that's the kind of stuff we need to see. But yeah, you're right. I
yeah,
think like if that video game explores like anything, like I'm hoping, we haven't heard anything really from it in a while as of this recording. And I would love that. I would love to think that they are like taking their time now. They maybe realized how excited people would be to explore the island, and they're like, all right, we actually have to go deep into like giving them all of these areas to explore, maybe giving them some deeper context to Rebirth or something like that. Like, because if they just kind of sidestep all of the Rebirth stuff, it's gonna feel weird. I feel like at least during the Jurassic World trilogy era, they had some like they had obviously the Evolution games, there were some little tidbits in there that would make you think and make you wonder, like, what's going on behind the scenes. There was the Aftermath, like, VR game that did some of that as well. Like, they tied, like, Doctor Wu to certain things, and that was nice to see. So I'm hoping we
Yeah.
get some of that in this video game as well. Are you a gamer? Are you somebody who, like, actually plays a bit, or
Yeah,
you're only
yeah, yeah. I'm
Jurassic?
a gamer as well. Me and my wife are massively into Jurassic World Evolution 3 at the moment, just building parks and sort of. She's not a gamer at all, really, but she really likes to sit with me while I build stuff. And she's like, "You put it over there, put this." Over. Like she's the managing director, and I'm just the person that controls it, I think. But my kid gets involved as well. Like she likes naming the dinosaurs particularly, so she sort of like we had a what are the ones that are with the big old spiky fingers? What they call
Therizinosaurus?
Therizinosaurus. That's the one. Yeah, like she named a bunch of them, and it was like Spiky George and Spiky Greg and stuff like that. It was really silly, but I was laughing my head off.
That's amazing. So with your daughter, like being that young, have you introduced anything to her outside of like or just with the films or anything? Or
She has a full set of not full set, but like all the figures from Kenner. I bought a secondary set because she specifically wanted to play with them. I was like, well, you're not touching these, and I just bought a sort of second-hand lot of but ones she could play with. I've shown her a few scenes because she is excited about dinosaurs. She has a lot of books, and at school they talk about dinosaurs a lot. So she has her favorite dinosaurs and things. So I've shown her some scenes that are not scary because she's 4. I don't want to, and I want that to. The weird dad in me, I want that to be a moment when she's around 8 or 7 or 8, and she can actually deal with Jurassic Park. I want to be sitting down and being like, here we go, let's watch this. It's my favorite film of all time. What do you think of it? Rather than just like sort of ruin it for her while she's like 5 and scared out of her mind or something. So I showed her the Brachiosaurus scene, a little bit the T-Rex, but I didn't want it to go so just that sort of stuff.
If I've learned anything, it's like I had so much pressure on myself to like reveal all of my favorite movies. Watch a Star Wars for the first time, or Jurassic or anything. There's so much pressure involved in like revealing these to your kids, and I'm like, man, if they don't like them, like that's gonna stink. Like that's gonna be the worst. I've shown them Jurassic, and they like them and they're into them, but like not like. They're not playing with toys all the time. Like I've got boxes of dinosaur toys that they can play with, and they don't really play with them at all. Like I don't know, I haven't been able to like get them into like the films like I was. I mean, you had said like show them at the right time, and my son, he's seen them before the latest movie, but like the latest movie, he was the same age. He was 7. Yeah, he was 7. I think he was 7. When he saw, wow, yeah, no, he's 8 now, so he would have been 8. Yeah, I think he was 8. And I think that's like what I was when I first saw the movie, or something right around there anyway. And I was like, that felt special to me to be able to like show him this movie at that same time period, the same age and everything. And so that was his first Jurassic movie in theaters. And he got lucky enough to go to that screening that had Frank Marshall and Gareth Edwards like do a Q&A after. So that was really cool, and everything. But I was like, I hope this hits in that same way. I don't think that it did, because he's too much into other things by that point. But like, yeah, it's really hard to have that much pressure on like really hoping it pays off. So like, do yourself a favor, just kind of chill, relax, and don't expect much, because they'll probably just be like, that was fun.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the other thing about these films, and the newer films in particular. Like we're to a degree, we're maybe a little bit the target audience, but we're dinosaur movies. They're for kids, really. And I feel that way about the Star Wars films and stuff, like the newer ones. Like it's not for us. It's for the kids, and like kids get a lot out of that stuff, generally. But yeah.
Yeah, we tend to take them a little bit too seriously, because we're all in. I'm doing a podcast about a movie. Like everybody's got a podcast about movies, and like doing reviews and professional reviews, written, audio, whatever the case may be. We all take it a little bit too seriously sometimes. So sometimes it's good to just be like that and say, hey, well, George Lucas made those for kids, and he would still
Yeah,
say that, they should just be for kids or whatever. Andor is awesome. Don't get me wrong, that show is fantastic, but like that's not for kids at all, and it's still Star Wars, but like it's still enjoyable, but not in that fun way that Star Wars is. So Jurassic, yeah, it's a family, and I know people are like, I want to see the R-rated Jurassic. Where is it? And I'm like, it's not. I mean, like that would be interesting for maybe like HBO miniseries, but like that's not what this franchise is. And I know that's what the
yeah,
book was, but like we don't need to do that in film, at least I don't think. I don't know, maybe one day we'll get a R-rated Jurassic, but that's why we have movies. I don't know what the rating is on the End of Oak Street or whatever that movie's called, like, but maybe that's where we get those kind of movies where people get ripped to shreds and like you see that stuff. I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to at least start to dive into like Camp Cretaceous and Chaos Theory, coming up probably sometime soon with your daughter
Yeah, I
there.
think so. I've been eagerly sort of eyeing it, but again, she's 4, so I think the most we've done is sort of K-pop Demon Hunter sort of stuff at the moment, which I love as well. I'm not going to diss that.
It's
That's great.
awesome. Yeah, and you've done some art for that, right? So let's talk about your art a little bit more too. So I I found it funny the other day. I was like scrolling through your profile here, and I was like, oh, I didn't even realize. I forgot that I already had like some of your art on my wall. The Beetlejuice print that you did.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I actually have that one because I'm a huge Beetlejuice fan, and that's like talk about like probably movies you saw too young. Like that's certainly one that I definitely saw too young, but like it's one of my favorites. I've got a bunch of Beetlejuice stuff actually sitting right over here.
It's such a good
film. I love that art, dude. That is an awesome one. I picked that one up. It's so I've got my TV set up. It's big screen and everything, some surround sound, but I've got like 4 posters surrounding it. There's like Beetlejuice, that one. There's like Jurassic Park, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and then Empire Strikes Back. And I've got popcorn buckets. So I've got my setup is all set. Nice. And you're right there. I'm staring at it every day. It's like it's awesome. I love that print. It is so good.
Did you get the foil one or was it the green one?
I just have the green one, but I think I'm happy with the green one. I saw like more of the foil one the other day, and I was like, oh, that would have been good though. Oh man.
It's hard to show what that looks like in mocks and stuff, but yeah, I think it came out really well. But the green one is the one I designed, so like a variant always comes afterwards. So I sort of just the variant sort of gives me a bit of what can I do with this to make it fun? So, but the green one was the way it was designed. So.
How do those variants come about? Like, is that something like you design and like you say, okay, well, this is going to be like the foil or whatever? Because I don't know how any of that works. Like, is that something they design or you, or where's that come about?
Me generally, I think. Well, I mean, normally it's a discussion you have with a gallery as well. You're like, hey, we want to do a piece, and normally it's okay, we'll do a regular and we'll do something on the side. So again, with the Jurassic Park ones that just came out a couple of months ago, that sort of had a second one. Matt Ferguson, who's the big artist in the UK, he also is the art director for Vice Press, so he sort of helped me with the variant on that one. And he was just like, I did the grey one, I think, originally. And it was a sort of grey with the colours of Barbasol, and he's like, make the variant like nuts, make it green neon sort of. There you go, you've got it on screen right there.
Yeah.
Make it neon-y and off colour, sort of like the toys and like the particularly the marketing around Jurassic Park in the 90s, like sort of like weird neon colours on top of the sunsets and stuff. So yeah, I mean, with the colours of that one, I've got Matt to thank for. He was pretty helpful. He usually is, actually, to be fair to him. But he pushed for sort of like go more nuts than you would do, which I thought really worked. So originally I just changed the colours of the DNA in the background, and he's like, no, make the whole thing like, make it turquoise and make the white yellow and stuff like that. So, but it came out well. That's an idea that's been the Barbasol one's been around for a couple of years, and I kept getting quite a lot of pushback because Barbasol is a brand in the US. Now, I didn't even realize that at the time. So obviously with licensing, you have to sort of go through obviously Universal for Jurassic Park, but in particular, if you're print or your artwork is going to be sold and it has anything like Jeep or Explorer, the Ford Explorers, that has to go through them as a separate licensing thing as well. Some cast members have it written down, so you have to go through their estates as well. And Barbasol, so I actually wrote to Barbasol separately and was like, look, I want to do this ideas, but all the galleries keep telling me I can't do it because it's got a big old Barbasol can on it. Can I do it? And they're actually kind enough to just be like, yeah, just do it. We got our lawyers to say yes, it's okay. So I then forwarded that on to the gallery, to Vice Press, and yeah, I think they were like, yeah, you can do it, but just can you send us like 10? I think that was pretty cool. So yeah.
That's awesome. Now, yeah, this one, it's so incredible, just to be able to have the Barbasol can, but also like the little canisters inside, like with the DNA floating, like the strand floating around, the different sequences on the can itself. I struggled when I got the email initially. I guess I had like looked at the website. I was like, oof, which one do I want to get? I mean, I get these emails all the time, right? Like I feel like whether it's one of these like press companies, like I'm like, oh, there's too many pieces of art out there. I don't know what to get. So I saw this though, and I'm like, yeah, I got to get this one. And when I actually opened it and I saw the variant, I'm like, oh my God, this is a very, very difficult choice. Cause like the original, you want that original look of the Barbasol can too, but the background and the variant color of the Barbasol can, I was like, I had to go with the variant. So I went with the variant because it just,
nice.
like you said, it kind of spoke to like the old collecting style of the boxes and everything. Like it kind of looked like that to me. It's got the red going into the yellow, into the trees. It worked so well. So I went with the variant, and I've got it right over there. I did not. I think I've got a frame coming in the next day or so. But yeah, I'm super excited to get one framed up.
Awkward sized. It's like 12 by 36. So it's quite big and quite thin. So awkward.
Yeah,
you have to get a special
I feel
for
like
it.
I'm used to it at this point. Like there's been a handful of like prints that I've gotten that have been that. So actually, I think there's one right up above me there. Star Wars one. I've got one over there for The Last of Us featuring a dinosaur, and so it's an awkward size, but like it works so well in like certain locations. So that's why it is a good one to have, a good size to have. But yeah, I love that print so much. So thank you, because
Thanks,
it's
man.
very cool. And yeah, I love that. So when you're coming up with this design, like, did you think like, all right, I want to put those 3 sequences in there, like, or how was that to come up with? Did you have other ideas when it came to that?
Oh, dude, the whole thing was about, as I said, about 2 years in development, because I also the thing with working with particularly Matt from Vice Press is he's very particular about what he thinks looks good, which is, and obviously he's a massive artist over here in the UK, so generally his advice is always good. So and I just kept pitching ideas, and he was like, this is cool, but you know what, like, and I think it was like amalgamation of different things. But the actual Barbasol itself, I always wanted to have something going on in the stripes, because obviously then it's just otherwise it's just a picture of the can, which is sort of a bit boring. But and I was like, well, I'll do the predators from the film, because originally I wanted to do the Barbasol, the white stripes, to have like sort of the herbivores in there and stuff, but it didn't really fit, and the stripes are thinner, so it didn't look cool. So yeah, I just went with the sort of predators, the main sort of predators from the film, and those sort of iconic scenes in there. Yeah, that was always pretty. It was in the rough, and I don't think it even really deviated that much. It was pretty much those scenes in that order. Yeah, from the
That's
rough.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean it's awesome. But you also did at that same time. You came out with these. How big are they? They're what are they? Does it say it right
They're
here
quite
somewhere?
small. They're A5 or A6, I believe. A5. So that would be something like 6 by 8 or something like that. They're more like bigger than postcards, but not that big, if you know what I mean.
Okay, yeah.
They're A5 sized. So
I think these are awesome as well. Like they're really cool. Like I feel like Jurassic fans are kind of obsessed with this card style. I think when we were trying to mess around with like, all right, what's a video stream gonna look like here for the podcast? Friend of the show and contributor Aaron Beyer was like, oh, maybe I'll make like the boxes that we're in look like that. And so I have like variants where like it looks like that. So that is like, that's just such an iconic look and vibe. So you really captured like what it was like to kind of unbox those cards and just like have them in our collections. I've got, booklets of them over there and stuff. So that this was
Yeah.
cool. And I like, hey, you're getting the raptor on top of the fence. Like not a sequence we saw necessarily, but like that's awesome. I like that. I like getting like different views of stuff from the film too. That's very cool.
That, like I said, that's sort of the idea behind the original Kenner cards was like bits and bobs that were not in the film at all, but they sort of like the artist was like, oh, this could have happened at some point. I tried to have that a little bit, but obviously when you're working with an official license, you have to sort of stick within the realm, and particularly in the wording as well. That was quite we went backwards and forwards with loads of different wordings for all this sort of thing. The prehistoric paradise one, that was originally what have you got in there, King Kong, but obviously King Kong you can't really use. So there was a whole lot of different stuff like that you have to sort of come to an agreement. I think they were pretty open with a lot of the ideas and what we could get away with, but then at some points they were like, well, you need to sort of use specific things and wordage from the film, or wordage that we can use and is acceptable, sort of thing. So it was kind of cool. I always like that thing, that sort of backwards and forwards, seeing what we can get away with.
So did you go through like a bunch of iterations? Like, because you've got 6 here. Is that all there? Is there just the 6?
There is the 6. There was a 7th, but I got it was the visitor center scene, and it was sort of there was, when I got it back, there was so many amendments to all the figures, and I think we were running out of time, so I think we just kept it with the 6. But yeah, I mean, they were pretty they were all taken from ideas that I had that didn't really make a full poster, particularly like the Brachiosaurus scene and the car in the tree. Early like a roughs of those actually had like the Jurassic Park skull in that scene somewhere, so you can still sort of see it a little bit with the Brachiosaurus, with the trees in the right hand side. You can see the bottom of the teeth and the clouds made up the rest. But I sort of took those elements away because it was just a bit sort of me just trying to fit it in, really. But yeah, I mean, it was an interesting one. A lot of those sort of went backwards and forwards with Matt as well, and Matt was like, well, you know what, this is cool, but I don't think it's a full poster, or like will that particularly sell? You want to make it more grandeur, and like what can you do? Yeah, it was really cool. It was a lot of backwards and forwards, first with Vice Press and then obviously with Universal. Universal got to the stage where it was like, raise the chin here, raise the eye, all that sort of stuff. You go. I think I did a couple of amends with those, particularly with the T-Rex and the Raptor. They want their models to look how they want, which is cool. Yeah, it's good. I don't get frustrated with that stuff. A lot of artists do.
Oh, really? Yeah. So, like, because I don't know how this process works, right? Like, so is this something that Vice Press or a similar company is like, hey, we want to have a Jurassic print, and then they go and find somebody, or do you like pitch an idea to them and say, hey, like, should we do this? Like, where does the inception of the entire process start?
Well, to be honest with you, it can come either way, really. A lot of what Vice Press do is sort of pitch at artists that they think will be good for a certain thing. But to be honest with you, I've known those guys for quite a long time. James in particular, I go see films with quite a little bit, and we actually went to a Jurassic Park museum stroke toy shop called Rexy's Reviews in Newcastle a couple of months ago. That was really cool. Got to shout out that place because he drove us around in his Ford Explorer, which was really nice. Andrew, the guy's name is. He's super nice.
This place here, right?
Yeah, that place there. It's really cool. It's sort of like half a museum and half a shop, but they only sell stuff with dinosaurs in it. And he's got like the Jeep, and he's got like the Explorer as well, and a load of cool photo pieces, which is pretty sweet. That's the guy. That's Andrew. He's a nice guy. And he drove us around in his Explorer.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
But yeah, so I hang out with James quite a little bit, so I know him at this point. So stuff like Beetlejuice, I think, got pitched to me, but I think Jurassic Park in particular, I was like, look, I've got these ideas. What do you think? And him and Matt sort of get together, and they're like, yeah, this could work, or what, can we work on this a little bit more, or something more like this? I think it comes up from either place, really. Sometimes people can reach out. Sometimes, an artist or a gallery can reach out to an artist, or the artist has an idea that the gallery thinks, yeah, you know what, this could work. So in this case, it was me pitching to them.
Yeah. So how does that feel? Because like you're a big fan of Jurassic, right? And then you designed official stuff at this point. Like you've done a handful, I think now. And how does it feel? Like you get the tube, you open it up, you pull out the Jurassic print. Like it's got to feel good, right?
It's really cool. I mean, so I did an original print probably 7 or 8 years ago now, and that was my first official print, and it was Jurassic Park, and that was like, I couldn't even like imagine that feeling, like especially growing up and loving Jurassic Park so much. It was pretty dark feeling, but I distinctly remember being like, if I die tomorrow, I'd be happy with what I've done, which is a weird thing to be thinking, but yeah, and then obviously I worked with a company and we did a lot of Jurassic Park merch, a lot of t-shirt designs and all that kind of stuff. And it sort of becomes a little bit more like working with, because you're working for a licensor that's working with a franchise, that kind of thing. So it's not as special doing that sort of stuff, but there's still something really cool, even if you know all the behind the scenes and you're pitching to, a gallery that's then working with a sign-off team from Universal or something. It's still really, really nice.
Yeah.
I've done an awful lot now. Oh, there you go. There's another one. Yeah. I've done an awful lot of sort of official stuff. So that special feeling isn't really there anymore when I get like the sign-off. When I'm just like, oh, cool, that means I don't have to do any more work with that. It's usually what I feel like, to be honest with you. that particular one, that's the first one I did.
Yeah. Oh, that's one right here. Yeah.
Yeah, we had to argue a lot with the Jeep. In fact, I made the Jeep quite different to the actual Jeep, like the number of grates in the front, the shape of it and stuff, because we had to make it different from an official one, because obviously it's not Jeep licensed. I think in the end they were like, yeah, but we're not taking any responsibility, sort of thing. I think that's as far as we got with that, and so we're like, cool, so we'll release it. That was like a 6-month wait as well, I think, that one. But yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of Jeep fans like really are very particular when it comes to like what they see on, I don't know, maybe art prints, but like recreations or toys. So yeah, it comes down to the licensing a lot of the times, right? Like, so that's a good note to at least take forward when we talk about some of the way things look. I remember this one too. This is a great one. I really love that raptor on that like orangey background. That's so cool.
Yeah, again, it was the first time I sort of wanted to sort of hit that sunset original toy vibe, I think. It resonated with a lot of people as well, and the raptors just look so cool. I think that's just like, despite it being my drawing or whatever, like outside of that, the raptors just look amazing. So
well, that's awesome. I love it all, man. It's very cool, and I can't wait to see
so much,
more.
man.
Hopefully you get some more Jurassic stuff in the pipeline at some point. I love it. Yeah. So I can't wait to put this one up on the wall that I have here. I got to find a spot for it because I'm running out of room. I buy too much art. That's the problem. Ceiling, yes, I buy too much art. I mean, that's a good problem to have, I guess, but I need to find somewhere quick. But yeah, I want to ask you one set of questions left here before we get out of here. So it's a fun little game. It's a rapid fire, so 60 seconds, and all you have to do is just kind of give me an answer, yes or no, or a slight insight into how you feel. And I think we'll actually get a good vibe of like, okay, this is what he feels about the franchise. So, all right.
Okay.
I've got a big list. I'm not sure where I'm going to start, but let's skip around and find out. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Park or world?
Park.
Grant or Dr. Henry Loomis?
Oh, Grant. Definitely.
Alan Grant or Ian Malcolm?
That's Grant. I'm still a Grant guy.
All right, Sarah Harding or Ellie Sattler?
Ellie Sattler.
Novel or film? I feel like that's easy. Come on.
Yeah, film. Although the novel is amazing. So
Yes. All right. Which film raptor is the best?
awkwardly, the second one, Lost World, the tiger
Okay,
strike.
yeah.
Awesome.
Spinosaurus or T-Rex?
T-Rex. Yeah.
Is Doctor Wu evil? Yes or no?
Money is evil. I think that's the cause of.
There you go.
evil.
Dinosaurs or theme park monsters?
They're theme park monsters. Yeah. They are.
Oh, there we go. Time is up. I have a long list. I was like trying to skip through because like I don't want to always do the same ones, but yeah, that's a fun. That's a fun little exercise I like doing. So we get to learn a little bit about you and what you feel. But
That was awesome.
so thank you very much for joining me today. Is there anything you'd like to let people know? Any places to find you? Anything you've got going on before we head out of here?
No, I mean, thank you so much for having me. Firstly, there's nothing huge coming up really for me. I've got an awful lot of work in the pipeline that I can't really say much about. So I think I'll be at Vice Press Open House, which is in September, which you could probably find on my Instagram page some details about. And I'll be at Thought Ball this year, which is a big sort of artist sort of get together in Harrogate. And I'll have some bits and bobs there as well. And there is talk about me doing something dinosaur and Jurassic Park related in the future, more of a sort of exhibition-y sort of thing. But I can't really say too much about that at the moment. So I'll leave it there.
All right. So so with these prints, are there any, because I actually don't know at the moment, are there any still available for like the Barbasols and those cards? Or are they, 'cause I know sometimes they go pretty quick, but...
Yeah, sometimes they do. I think screen prints tend to go really fast because of the limited nature of them. I think we went pretty high with the numbers on these, so you can still pick them up at Vice Press. I believe it's Vice-Press. I will check that, and I'm sure you can pop a little.
Yeah,
thing
I'll
on it.
add a link for sure into the show notes.
They've still got some for sure, and I believe they have both sets. I think there's still bits and bobs available, and definitely the smaller sets. We have a load of those as well. There's also a foil, like a secret foil in each set as well for the smaller sets. The set of 6 cards. There's like we put an extra foil on each one, which is a random foil of a card. So that's quite cool as well.
Nice.
People are finding those, and a few people are like trading them, which is quite nice.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, well, and you're Mark Bella's illustration on Instagram, right? So everybody go follow him. I'll put the links in the show notes. And thank you so much. It's been fun learning about your history.
Thank you, Brad. It's been awesome talking to you.